Gotta go to the beat.
All right, welcome to another episode at CrossFit MF. That's where we are today. Day at HQ, Misfit Athletics, Seth, Drew, Goon Squad. All right, here we go. Warm up today is rowing a 2K and then going into some seated box jumps. The 2K is kind of like the weakness warm up stuff we've done in the past, just to make sure that no matter what, you can get on the rower and have a little bit of toughness. If you feel good, you kind of push a little bit. If you don't feel so good, you just use it to kind of get loose. The 7x1 seated box jump we've been doing throughout this entire cycle, building up height. So today we're getting pretty high with 90 to 100% of your 1 rep max you found during test week. What would you say is a good rest between each attempt?
If you're really feeling like you're pushing max effort, 2 minutes, and a lot of people aren't going to do that, and they're going to think because they don't have a 400-pound bar on their back that they can get right back into it. A couple of minutes between each one's going to allow you to continually jump close to 100%.
Take it away.
Push press, 4x4 at 80 to 85. We know how much all of you guys love following percentages, but we really want everyone to start at 80. If it's smooth and it feels good and it's not destroying your collarbones, slide up towards the 85 range once you get into your third and fourth set. Next is the clean and jerk, 6x3 at 70 to 75%. If you struggle with the repetitive nature of heavy squat cleans and split jerks from a muscle fatigue or breathing standpoint, 70% is going to be your best bet. If you're the type of person that loves to rip out heavy clean and jerks, like Travis Williams, you can fight to try and get up into that 75% range, and as the cycle goes on, we'll continue to go through. This is drop and reset. This is the one time where we'd rather you take the extra 5 seconds between reps to make sure that you're good to go, as opposed to jumping right back on and having it look like shit.
Only one conditioning piece mandatory today. We have not listed the extra work because you guys will be able to choose, but mandatory is the 100-meter sprint by 6. Rest 2 to 3 minutes between efforts, and I want people to start lying face down to kind of have that ability to jump up, get up and go, and turn it right on as soon as we get started, so you don't get a good setup position. It's kind of like the drills people do in sports, very similar to that. Today, we have some flooding and downpouring going on here at HQ, so we may be modifying. We will give the updates as we go through the day, or we may be sending people out to get soggy and wet. So we'll see what happens. Number 5 today, mandatory strict pull-ups. 2 sets of 10, 2 sets of 8, 2 sets of 6, 4, 2. And you're gonna switch the grip each time. So you're gonna do 10 overhand and then 10 underhand. You're gonna rest as needed between to try to get all the reps unbroken if possible. If not, then it's the sort of thing where I would suggest that people scale back to maybe smaller sets so that they are getting good sets unbroken. It's not made to jump up, do a couple, come down, jump up, do a couple. So trying to work on those continuous sets with both grips, overhand and underhand.
Good here. So it's like, I know
Woo!
that what you start at.
All right.
Okay.
Alright, that was easier.
What's next? That's what, 50?
I did a 1-inch PR.
Great.
Heyo.
Oh, you just ambered it.
Keep that in the video.
Oh my god.
If you're not explosive, you don't get on the box. So that's a big part of it. Keep it simple for him. This is so mental. This is fairly mental. Wow.
You land just like sure.
Where's your hip mobility? Go to the bottom of the squat. Here's the bottom of the air spot, like rock bottom. Yeah. So you jump like really high and then don't get your knees up. And if you see us, we're like not jumping at all. We're just getting to this position. So when you reach, like if it was in slow-mo, you reach extension here, you should already be bringing your knees up. Right? Like when you're in this position, you're doing this. You're like jumping like crazy high and not bringing your feet up. But it's really easy if you just go and land where your hip range will land.
Right.
Yeah. So you probably can jump to the 50, but you have to get used to getting your knees up.
So I'm not supposed to face plant into the plates.
I mean, if it's explosive, it's okay. If it's like serve, no, it's not okay.
You saving my junk?
Ted, fun fact about Dave, cuts his own hair. If you get a close-up of that later, you see the precision he has in the mirror cutting his own hair. The fade, the hard part, all of it. Does it himself at home once a week. I almost don't believe it, but he swears.
I almost don't believe it.
And he doesn't lie. I mean, Dave won't lie. Do you ever lie, Dave?
I have.
What? You've lied before?
Although I feel like today's workout might be in my favor if I make the bet.
Today's workout, you mean sprinting?
Dave, maybe you should cut Marty's hair sometime.
My hair looks like shit right now. As we take the progression through the season from strict press, push jerk, you have to try to make sure that it goes into something that could actually work in a workout. Right now, your heels are coming off the ground about this much, and you're kind of sliding back as you go. So we need that like really sound like repeatability within your lower half, so that in a workout when you're huffing and puffing, if it is a push jerk, that you're able to just do this over and over. Okay. So as you're going, really feel like you're cementing your feet into the ground. Maybe take a little bit of a wider stance. It's also the sign of just a better push press. Okay. But in terms of the sport, we really got to make sure that we can just do that over and over. Everybody's bending the wad when they're kind of falling back and the bar's coming back down and then they get out of rhythm. It just makes the reps harder. So. Okay, so Gabe's problem used to be what we were just talking about over there with the hips tracking forward, sending the weight forward, making it hard to stay stable in the foot. Now what we're trying to work on is as he comes up and extends violently, not letting this rotation happen and losing his rib cage. We know that he struggles a little bit overhead in that position, but you can't lose it here. So if that dip drive is over exaggerated and you're leaning back, then you have no chance to stay tight in the midline. So you have to learn to fight it as long as you can, whether that's bar to here, bar to here, bar to here, and then I'll force the mobility a little bit. So in my opinion, it's really just when that hip extension happens, you get a little bit of that lean back there. So if you can tuck the chin and fight holding your midline a little bit more, I think you keep you in that position longer. Stronger than sure.
Oh, it's so good. One of the things about Max's jerk, even though he weighs about 100 to 175 pounds, and his footwork is a little inconsistent, but he knows how to keep tension on the bar. When he jerks, you'll almost always see a lockout with no jostle of the shoulder. It's how he's able to clean the jerk like 75, 285 at kind of a light weight. He's really fast on the bar, and especially at heavier weights, you'll see him catch and his shoulders won't move at all. Just one motion, locked out, and he can stand up and recover. So that's really important. If you watch a lot of other lifters, even stronger guys, you'll see that they catch big weights, over 300 even, but they have this sort of motion going on the shoulder or the elbow buckles. You almost never see that with him, and it's just a matter of, it's a product of speed and practice and having some form that's repeatable. So one thing that's really good for him.
One thing that's really important when we're watching Austin jerk is you can see a little bit of give in his back knee. So he had one where he caught a little bit forward, and because he has play here, because his knee can continue to bend, he can continue to push himself under the bar, give himself time before he stands back up. If he was to rock it down into that position, get into this overextended position with the back leg locked and the midline not in a good position, it's gonna be really hard to correct a lift that went just a little bit wrong. I want you to get in the bottom of like a deep lunge and then try to press the barbell overhead from the front rack position. Yep, now press the bar overhead. Go ahead and stay there. So one thing you can do is you can force your athletes to prove to themselves that they can get into a specific position before you ask them to get into it. Because a lot of times they'll say, I don't have the mobility, whatever. So I wanted him to kind of unknowingly go into that position. Weightlifting is the art of moving your body around the barbell, and what you're doing is moving the barbell. So you're using your strength rather than your athleticism to move the bar. You get into that dip drive position, and by the time you dip and press, you're about here, and you kind of just go like that and get back. So you know you can get to that position. We have to find a happy medium to start, somewhere between what you're doing and that position. So the bar pops off, it's right about here. We transition under the bar, then we stand up with it, okay?
Why didn't you put us down in the puddle?
Where's the line? We get hit by a
That
car.
cone?
So far?
Oh, Drew, there's no way you beat me.
Yeah, that's a pretty long distance.
That's a really long 100. Oh,
Did
so
we?
great.
Did any of us run yet?
No.
How many hamstrings?
Yours.
How many people? Hey Seth, get over here. 14 hamstrings. Let's go, ladies!
It's chest on the ground, though, right?
Yeah. All the way down. Oh, it's so cold.
Okay, you got it?
3, 2, 1, go. Who took that one?
You won the 70, but you didn't win the 100.
All I heard was, we're doing sprints. I was like, you guys are fucked. I want some slow-mo on my pants. But they were out to here. Like that far past my foot. It's like something feels wrong.
Who's winning? Me. Win. 4 wins in 3 rounds. Go!
That's it for another day at HQ. I'm Seth. We have Drew, and thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, follow, all that good stuff. See you guys soon.